This is nice. And it's interesting because I know what I'm doing today. It's based on the temple. So interesting, once again, it's one of these scenarios where, well, that is actually two temples, which is also many. So the temple, which is the body, okay? So we go to the body of Jesus, which is the temple of God, and that is the internal temple. So the external temple, okay? The one that I want to be a little more cautious in the way I say some of these things because we're looking at external temples that are the very major part of the problems globally. Because here is the internal temple. It's the connection with Jesus and the new heart and the way of being sin-free. Yeah, your behavior is all good and true and kind and love. Yeah, it's the righteous heart. That's the new temple. Okay, but the external temple, coincidentally, if you're to watch The Chosen, or if you're to maybe read the New Testament, or even more to the Old Temple, is to read the Old Testament, which is talking about the Old Temple. And interesting, there are parts within the New Testament that are to even speak of how the new temple is going to be replacing the old temple because it is of more fruit. That's good fruit. Yeah. Those are all the people that are branching from the vine of Jesus and to have much more fruit. And here's the interesting thing. The fruits, these are also the people which are coming to the parables. I was on the parables, and I told the stories of the interesting the seed sower. Yeah, to sow the good seed. So there's the seed that is in the good soil, and it's good watering, good everything, and it's to grow. And then there's the ones the satanic birds fly in and eat. Yeah, it's these are good parables, but these are things of a problem globally. The world has issues with many levels of corruption, and what is interesting for me is that I'm not just telling stories from experience. I actually am with more than abundant proof of all these things. So I considered what it was to tell the story of the temple is also to tell the story of the enemy. Now this is in two parts, though, because the family of Jesus, which is the good temple, which is this temple. This is the temple, okay? Your body, okay? So all the parts of the body of Jesus Christ, and there are many, it's there's many stories within the stories here. And it's all supported within the New Testament, which is interesting because once again, I can tell the whole story here, and then I can interconnect it with the Old Testament and the New Testament really clear. And that's what I'm doing. I haven't looked into the Bible yet. I just know what I'm speaking from. It's interesting because it's there. It's in me already. And the experiences that I went through. I mean, did I message? Yeah, I sent 270,000 emails, and that's to all the politicians, all the police, FBI, Vatican. Yeah. And if you're to watch any of the shows on the popes, you can see a problem with that temple. The history, the Borgias and stuff. I mean, these are shows that were put on TV, but there's the Pope, and there is much. Let's just say that it looks to me like they named some of the times the Dark Ages because it was dark. And these people were as corrupt as corrupt could get. And with all the poverty and all the problems in the world, and you see such a hoarding. Is it hoarding? I mean, gold thrones. It's like the crown of the royals and so forth. It's just the catocracy where all the powers and struggles for everyone are under the corruption. This is wealth that is built on the back of keeping everyone in ignorance and to keep the temples in a point of lies and deception, clearly deception. So I was saying that a big problem with what I saw. I am also going to do something here that is different. At some point, I'm going to show everyone what I also know, and I may include this because this is to speak of the temple. It is also the religious temples that have been corrupted to a level where it is very clear to see that the people of these religions understand God is love and God is also true. So, in what point are the religious organizations so opposed to the unification and the uniting of all these religious standpoints in which they all do know that God is love and God is truthful and God is kind? So, what are the differences? Well, institutionalized religions, temples built on powers and money, corruption. Yes, it's very clear. And so I have tested this theory out on many people. Taxi drivers, people in malls, out for walks, 79-year-old lady in the park. Yeah, it's true. And here's what I find. We all agree on God is love, God is truth, God is kind. And so the things that can unite us should be the focus. And then from there, branching into all the things that make things better. Like, for instance, that Jesus is of the Word and is here and has died for the sin and has taken upon all the pains and suffering that we would have endured if we loved our temples enough. Yeah, but the external law and the external temple was not listening. It was not obeying the word and law of God. Okay? Clearly. And so this is going to be easy for me to construct the before, the after, and the now, the presence of God in realizing all these things and the pains of suffering. Here's the thing. The enemy doesn't know that I understand many of the things that they've done. Okay? Some of the culprits, some of the people, some of the bad players are making bad mistakes not knowing. They actually still think that there's some trickery and foolishness. Put it this way. When I say I love the enemy, okay, including the family and friends, that's going to tell you something that I have not said. Yeah, I love them. And I love everyone involved. And I forgive them. So I'm not here to punish anything. I am here to reward everyone. Yeah, I have the gifts from God. The gifts that keep on giving. This is to eternal life. Would I want any of the enemy to suffer? No. And this is why I'm also going to bring forth to the enemy that the religious organizations, the temples that are external, the governments that are external, the companies that are external, all of them have been corrupted. Yes, they are all part of a catocracy which is run by Satan. Just think, okay, who was dark enough to take over the big corporations to corrupt the little temples of God? Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Anyway, I could put this together pretty quick. I might add to this, but I think I said everything I was set to say. And it will be put together pretty well and pretty well organized to show exactly what I said to be true. And love the enemy. Yeah. Help them to the good temple of God. Yeah. This is the new heart. And it's enslaved to righteousness. And it makes it easier to love all the temples. Okay. I love you. Yeah, because I don't want to see, I don't want people to think I'm attacking a church. No, I'm not attacking the church. I'm attacking who is in the church, who is running the church. You know, I am attacking the same external people that are ruining the world. The ones that are working for Satan, the ones that are in deception, the ones that are with the lies and the traps and the foolish ways. You know, it's strange that I pick these songs. For instance, I pick the Marrow Simpleton, knowing that the enemy has attacked me, and I feel there is a compliment, and that I also feel attachment to loving the enemy. And these are songs of love. That I can find love songs in every song, and I can interconnect stories. It's interesting too, the story of the triumph with the stone, which is a triumph in Jesus, and this is the temple. This is the new temple of the body of Jesus Christ.